Hello guys and welcome back to a new lesson. So here in Scotland it's almost summer, so we're reaching scorching temperatures of around 10 degrees Celsius, and because of that I feel very summery. I'm going away on holiday and I'm really excited and I'm in a good mood, so I thought I'd do a little lesson on reggae drumming. And specifically I want to talk about the one drop groove. So if you ask a drummer to play a reggae beat, they'll probably play a one drop variation. The one drop is the kind of granddaddy of reggae drumming. There are other grooves in reggae music, but the one drop is one of the most popular. So drummers like Carlton Barrett and Sly Dunbar pioneered this groove. Those two are really the grandmasters of reggae drumming and really influenced a lot of music. So why is it called the one drop groove? Well, in most Western music, the bass drum is always playing that downbeat on the one. But with this one drop groove, we're dropping that, so there's going to be no bass drum on the one. And instead of playing it on one, we're going to play it on three, where the snare drum hits as well. So it's named because we're dropping that first beat on the bass drum. We're not using it, so we're dropping it off the table, we're getting rid of it. And that's where it comes from. And that's what creates that cool reggae vibe when you're playing that one drop. Because you're not emphasizing that one in the music, it sounds totally different and really cool. So there's one thing I want to note about reggae drumming, and that is it's basically all feel. So what I'm going to show you today is just examples of how you can use the one drop groove, but these are by no means the way that you should only play them. There's loads of different varieties and there's loads of different interpretations and different feels as well. So I highly recommend you go off and listen to a lot of reggae music and find out how different drummers play different one drops and get your own feel for it. But with that being said, I'll show you a few examples to get you started. So you can go for a straight feel reggae drum groove or a kind of shuffly feel drum groove. In this case I'm going to edge towards the shuffly side. Now when you're playing these shuffles, you're meant to be quite laid back because you're playing at a slower tempo and you want to just dig into that groove, and again it's all about feel. So with all these examples you're always hitting the bass drum and the side stick on the 3 of every bar. And what we're going to change is the right hand variation. And later on we're going to do some different left hand variations too. So the first example I'm going to show you is just a basic right hand shuffle. And what I like to do with this little right hand shuffle ostinato is actually accent the 2 and the 4 so it gets a bit more feel to it. That'll match up with the guitar track I've got going on. So I'll show you an example of that. Now I recommend experimenting with the spacing of the actual shuffle. You can do it a bit closer or a bit more loose and see which one works better for the music. So the second ostinato I'm going to show you is just a right hand swing pattern. So as we know it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And again experiment with accents and spacings of those shuffle bits. So here's a quick example of that. And my third variation I've got for you is basically the same as the swing pattern, but we're dropping that first beat completely, so that's completely silent. As drummers it can be quite weird playing nothing on the one, so I recommend practicing with a metronome and you'll get used to it. So here's how that sounds. So that personally is my favourite because I love that bit of space in the one, creates a bit of tension for you. So have a go at those 3 different ostinatos on the right hand and keep that side stick in the bass drum on the 3 of every bar. So let's look at a left hand variation that we can do. So we want to keep that side stick and bass drum on the 3, but what we can do is add different rim clicks somewhere else. So for this example I'm going to put a side stick on the 3rd triplet of the 4. And you can use this on every bar or you can just use it as a little mini fill. So here's how that sounds with the different grooves. Have a little bit of fun and try putting some different cross sticks somewhere, but make sure you've still got that bass drum and the side stick on 3 as well. So there you go, that's a few examples of how you can use that one drop groove. As a wee bonus, I thought I'd throw in this little cool reggae lick that I use all the time. So what we're going to do to start off with is we're just going to play some triplets on the hi-hat, just 8th note triplets. And then what we're going to do is we're going to accent every second triplet. And finally what we want to do is take away everything but the accents, so we just play the accents. And that creates a cool kind of polyrhythmic feeling, and it's used all the time in reggae drumming. So here's how it sounds in context. Okay, so that just about wraps up the lesson. I hope you enjoyed. Obviously I'm not a reggae master, I'm just trying to give you a few examples of how you can use this one drop. I highly recommend going to listen to music and getting a feel for the music. So just to line up with the sheet music, I played quite robotically, but you can actually mess with that and make it a bit more loose or do a bit more flamming with the rims and loads of other stuff. Just have a listen to music and enjoy. If you want some more lessons on reggae music, I'd happily oblige, so let me know in the comments below. And until next time, take care. See you later.